Hi guys, StinaRose here. Welcome to my very first YouTube video. I'm sure that this will be full of some cringeworthy moments as I learn how to record videos and try to make this interesting for you. But thanks for joining me. I'm here at the Welsknight on the Welsknight Patreon server, and we're getting ready for a reset. So I wanted to take some time and show you what I've been up to. I joined the server back in April, so let's jump in and take a look at some of the builds that I've made. I'm here in my nether tunnel, and I know how to work my buttons. See? Cringeworthy already. Let's go on through and enter into my base. Welcome to Rose Rock Light. Here we are on the edge of an ocean in an extreme hills biome. And the very first thing I did on this server was go find the skeleton spawner and do a bunch of grinding for bone blocks. I built this lighthouse completely in survival, and it was a lot of fun. There's a lot of stairs inside, and I'm not gonna bore you by going all the way up to the top, but it is accessible all the way up there. I will come in and show you a little bit of what's inside. I did do some interior decorating here in the bottom level with an enchanting setup that I never fully upgraded because I ended up doing all of my enchanting in the end at our ender. But the thing that I did use a lot in this lighthouse was the bed. This is how I slept off the nights and kept from getting killed by zombies and creepers and skeletons. Another thing that I used very often in the lighthouse was my AFK fish farm. Mending books are a wonderful thing, especially when you manage, like me, to spleef yourself into the void. Down here I have a secret passage to my dock area and my little boat to take me across the ocean to the mesa, and if I wanted to go to the end fortress by sea, it was easy to get there that way. One day though, before I built this little cave area, a creeper commandeered my rowboat, and that's what really prompted me to put this inside as opposed to outside where creepers would decide to go for a joyride in my boat. After I finished the lighthouse, I wasn't done, so I built a village. And if you follow the path up here through the mountain, and I'm going to admit that this little cave system was already here. Yes, I decorated it a little bit, but I loved the fact that it was there, and I was able to wind my path up the side of the mountain and through that cave. And as you come up the mountain, you get to the house on the hill. This was another early build, just a nice single occupancy house. I have a little garden here on the side, carrots and potatoes, my dog Murphy, and then we have the chickens, Harriet and Penelope, stuck in their little pen. I also have an egg now. One of the next things I built was the windmill. And no windmill would be complete without a wheat field to go with it. So that was one of the next things that I put in. And I added houses through as time went on. But I used my windmill as my storage room. And after the windmill was completed, I was able to bring my storage from the bottom of the lighthouse into the mill. So I have storage for, just about everything. Now, because I've only been on the server for 2 months, most of these chests over here are empty, but that's okay. If we follow the path this direction, we have another little house, and then we have my bakehouse. And this was a really fun, challenging build to make because I wanted to make this open fire baking oven. And one of my favorite things about this oven is the bread that you can see baking in the back, and the fire, the smoke particles from the fire. I was really pleased with the way that it turned out. If we continue over this way, we can go to my inn right there with the flag on the top. The inn was another fun build to make. A couple of these builds came from just pictures of real world things that I was able to make into Minecraft, and it was a lot of fun. So this is the I guess you could say community area of the inn where people would come and enjoy food and beverage. In the bottom of the inn, I made a nice little brewing area with fresh ingredients, netherwort and melons, sugar cane, and over here we have the different things that I've been brewing. Most everything in this space is manual. I'm more of a builder than a redstoner for sure, and so I just kind of enjoy manual builds and manual farms. The inn is decorated. All the rooms, we've got a few different levels, and it's just kind of a nice place to come and enjoy some time away. More houses, just small one-story buildings. When I joined the server, I wasn't sure how long the server would be going because there was already talk of a reset at that time. So I kind of did my builds one at a time, understanding that I might not be able to finish things that I started. This well was another early addition to the village, and it's just amazing to think about how things built up around it. Here we have a market stand selling all kinds of fish. We have steak, chicken, and mutton. All kinds of food, and I can't tell you the number of times I've come through here and just grabbed something to eat because I was starving a few times. So it was nice to have these here right in the middle of town and not having to go and dig through my chests in the not the lighthouse, in the windmill. Here we have my barn. Now the barn was a really interesting build to make because it was another build that I started early on, and it's kind of hard now to see the size of this because the houses that have grown up around it. But it's quite a large build, and quite fun to make, in fact. Another large build that I made is the church, and this is probably one of my favorite builds. This is another thing that I took a picture from real life and was able to transform it into something for Minecraft. Entering into the church, we have the sanctuary with the stained glass windows and the pews and the platform. We also have a balcony up above where maybe the choir would have sang, or maybe extra seating. I didn't actually fill that in. And I ran into the door. Up high in the tower, there's also a golden bell. Might not be the best place to try to see that from. There it is, the golden bell hanging in the tower. I also have a cemetery. This was always in the plans, but to have a cemetery next to the church. But a couple weeks ago, my uncle died, and so I was able to build this cemetery kind of as a memorial to him. Not that he would have really appreciated that I was building him a memorial on a video game, but that's okay. I was also able to talk with other members of the server and come up with some interesting ways that people have died over the course of the life of the server. My own deaths are recorded here. Like I said, I managed to spleef myself into the void. Another death was I swam in lava. That was like my second day on the server. At that point, I didn't even have proper armor. And my only other death is I fell. I fell so far that my Feather Falling 4 boots did not protect me, and died. My things scattered all over, and it was lots of fun to try to find everything again. Over here next to the cemetery is my blacksmith shop. I went with an open forge style and infinite water source here. Inside of my blacksmith shop, of course, is my smelters, auto smelters, for taking care of all the iron that I was finding down in my beacon mine. If we continue along the trail, we're going to come to my lumber camp. And it was kind of fun to build the lumber camp because it strayed away from the style that I'd been building with the spruce wood and the stone. And, well, that was unfortunate. Let's try this again. Okay, we're back. The spruce wood and the stone, and be able to build a tent. Now, to build the tent, though, of course, I needed a good sheep farm. And so that's what I have here, hidden in the hill, tucked away where I don't hear the bleating of the sheep all the time. But here's my sheep farm, all 16 colors of sheep. And I made a lot of use of their wool. I'll show you the project that I used it most for in just a little bit. Up here, no village would be complete without a watchtower to allow you to look out for enemies that might be coming from around. I cannot tell you the number of times that a creeper tried blowing me up here on the top of this hill because it's not lit up very well up here. And I never took the time to completely do that. But here we have it. The watchtower, where we can see the village below. And there you can kind of get a view of the project that took most of my wool. And I'm going to attempt to do something that I am not very good at. And we are going to go for a little fly. Okay, this could end very badly because I'm probably the worst flyer on the server, but here we go. Okay, so far so good. Okay, as you can see, we've got a couple of hot air balloons here. This hot air balloon project is how I ended up falling to my death. I'm not going to take full credit for the balloon design because I did find a picture of this this style of balloon and just did my best to match it. And it really was a fun project, so much so that you can see I chose to make a few of the balloons. a few of the balloons. This blue and the cyan and white balloon was the first one that I did, and then I did the rainbow balloon up there second, and the gray and white balloon third. And honestly, these are probably some of my favorite builds. Okay, I've said that already, but these were so much fun to make. And here you go, you can have a good view of my lighthouse. And that's what I've been able to accomplish in the last 2 months. And I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what I can do in the next season. So thank you for watching my very first YouTube video, and I apologize for the derpiness, and I hope that you'll come back and see another video. This is StinaRose, signing out.